Jesus never introduced himself using pronouns. I am he, Jesus, in John 18:5. You sure about that? I mean, sure, he probably didn't go around being like, "Hi guys, my name is Jesus, my pronouns are he, him," in those exact words. You know? But do you really think it's a good idea to insist that only trans people use pronouns because everyone uses freaking pronouns? And second of all, to kind of go around saying people have to stay the same for over 2,000 years. Everyone has to always stay the same. Society has to stay the same, because that's a wild take, really. Hello BabyQueers and welcome back to my channel. In theme with today's video, I actually meant to do a different video, but very confidently collected the incorrect memes. Which seems very on brand, so I guess that's what we're doing today. But you know the deal, before we continue, y'all gotta get hydrated. So grab some water, or some tea, or whatever else you like to drink, and then we'll continue. Are you hydrated? Good. Let's go. What is this movie about? Mentally ill teen girls. There is a lot of suicide in the movie, but it's amazing. More like adults. Same thing. Teens are 10 to 13, what are you on about? Honey, teens are 13 to 18. That's teenagers. Teens are 15 to 19. Okay, let this go. Teenagers are people with teen in their age. Don't love that you use the wrong there here, but literally teenagers, and teen for short, because it's literally the same thing, are the ages with teen in the name. You know, 13, 14, 19. So yeah, 13 to 19 would just kind of be correct, you know. First of all, and second of all, how? Well, I really don't even know what movie this is about, but saying, oh, well, there's a lot of suicide, but it's amazing. Like, it seems kind of wild. I kind of want to know what this movie is about, or like which movie they're referring to. But still, how? I thought it was kind of self-explanatory, you know? Especially if you grew up in an English-speaking country. Because it just makes sense, because it's literally in the name. Teen, age, or like, anyways, moving on. My reality includes an understanding of physics that's beyond kindergarten level. I hope you achieve that someday. Lols. Ah yes, more kindergarten level responses, as expected. What evidence do you have that the Earth is moving and that Earth is in a 1 × 10 whatever Tor vacuum? I'm saying that is ridiculous. Every experience, navigation, observation shows that Earth is stationary and flat, and that we live in an environment that we can breathe air and not in a nothing vacuum. Wasn't there supposed to be a flat earther documentary and they like did this really elaborate test only to disprove their own theory because they realized, oh shit, there is actually like a curvature. It's not flat. It isn't. I don't know what it's called, but there was such a thing where they literally like set it up with like, you know, different points across like a long distance and were trying to prove that it's flat, but literally just proved the opposite. How can people be this smart and this stupid at the same time? It confuses me, really, because how can you say that every experience, navigation, and observation shows that the Earth is flat? Because it literally does not. Like, even if you are at the ocean or on like a piece of land that is just incredibly flat, and you're just gonna say, oh, no, the fact that I can't see past a certain point, even with like a telescope or something, isn't because the Earth isn't flat, it's because I'm sure there's just a hill or something in any which direction. I'm sure it's just like a hill or something. It's not because the Earth isn't flat. How? These people confuse me. 500,000 is low miles. What the hell? It says 50,000. 50,000. Some dumbass apparently didn't finish school. You're stupid AF. Read, dumbass. That first zero is for 1 million. Miles, you stupid MF. Now take that low mileage part off, dumbass. Exactly, now who's the stupid one that didn't finish school? Okay, whatever makes you feel smart, bro. What do you mean the first zero is for something else? Like, I'm guessing that yes, if you do hit 1 million miles, if your car withstands that, I'm impressed. Second of all, like, I expect that if it hits that, yes, the first number would turn to a zero again, but what car did you do? Like, what car did you have before that it actually did that? So, yeah, 50,000 miles really isn't that high. And why are these people so in love with arguing? Like, if you think this person is trying to rip you off and trying to sell you like something as low mileage that you don't think is low mileage, and you don't want to get this car because of that, why do you insist on arguing with these people? And it's not like even just that they're arguing with facts. No, they're like second graders and calling each other stupid and dumbass the entire time. Although, to be fair to this person responding, they probably didn't start it and they're a lot more mild than the other person. But still, like, why? Just why? Okay, some post about uncooked or partially cooked chicken apparently might be unsafe, eat at your own risk versus guaranteed unsafe against health code to serve. Your take is bad and you should feel bad. Medium chicken isn't guaranteed unsafe either though, it's just more risky. Typical cook that understand food safety at surface level. Okay, have you ever talked to an actual health inspector? Have you worked in a kitchen? You never serve medium rare chicken. That shit will get you shut down quick. You know, a little thing called salmonella. I have a feeling you're fighting a losing battle. How long have you been cooking, drummer boy? I still get this really visceral reaction when people try raw chicken. Or like say they like medium rare chicken. Because sure, it's not guaranteed unsafe. It's not guaranteed that you'll get salmonella every time you eat raw chicken or undercooked chicken. But just because it is not guaranteed unsafe doesn't mean it's safe to eat. You know, that nothing will ever happen or nothing could ever happen. And sure, you can take that risk with your own health, but yeah, as a restaurant you will be shut down so quickly. I love Amsterdam. Dutch isn't that difficult to learn. Thinking of moving here. Good pick, but it's Dutch, not Dutch. It's Dutch. They speak Dutch in the Netherlands. Deutsch is German's name for the German language. Dutch or Deutsch is the same. Dutch is the American spelling and Deutsch the English. You know how British use more letters for no reason? I mean, you're not completely wrong. Yeah, a lot of words are spelled different in America versus England, right? Sure. But it's still not the same thing. I know, like, the Netherlands and Germany are, like, right next to each other, but not the same thing. I think I would know, as in, I live in Germany, and I know what we call our own language. You don't, apparently. A DoorDash driver stole a donation jar from my store. Okay, any business relying on donations doesn't deserve to be in business. That's just a lazy workaround for paying your employees. Okay, did you read the original post? Yes, and I stand by my statement. It is wrong that it got stolen, but the whole idea of a donation jar to get around paying your people is the same as tipping culture. The donation jar was not for paying employees. The donations were for a local non-profit charity organization. They were used to provide essentials for families in need. Not sure why you're using your business to funnel donations for a charity unless you got a kickback for it, which needs to be outlawed. Is this the first time you heard of a restaurant or a business having a donation jar for a local charity? Or, you know, like, I know it's not that common. Like, I know not every store has it, and I'm not even sure if American stores do, if this even is from America, but some German stores have this too. You know, you can like donate to either like a nationwide charity or like some actually like have it for local charities. What is so difficult to understand? It's a donation jar, not a tipping jar. Like, yeah, tipping culture, as in we're paying our workers less than they need to survive, so they'll work harder to get tips. It's disgusting. But this is something different, and how is it not clear from the name alone? It's a donation jar, not a tipping jar. But anyways, okay, June is 5 months ago, not weeks. Dude, what's wrong with you? 6/11 is June 11th. Yeah, only in the USA, fortunately or unfortunately. Try to research this. Nope, that is universal. Your biased method is so confusing. What is 5/4 or 4/5 by your logic? Just Google it. There are 3 popular date formats: day, month, year, month, day, year, and that is cut off. But is it? I know, like, everyone's a little bit biased because they grew up with whatever, the date or how certain words are written in the country they grew up in, right? In Germany, you write day, month, year. So kind of being caught off guard a little bit when you see the date somehow spelled differently now. Because the first time I heard that Americans write it differently with like month, day, I was confused too. I was like, why would you do this? This makes no sense, just because I wasn't used to it. But then again, I was like 10 or 11 when I learned this. And I'm not that pressed about it, because if that's how you want to write it, that's how you're gonna write it. But then to be so confused that other people use different formats just seems weird. You're wrong there, dear. Males are the hive gate guards. They kill anything that threatens the hive's existence. Without males, there will be no women. Remember, Eve came from Adam's left lower rib. Male honeybees don't do any of that. Not only wrong, but delusional too. This lady is a literal beekeeper, and some dude in the comments is apparently arguing with her. Even though he probably hasn't spent one day as a beekeeper. Like, just, like, trying to project human gender roles onto animals is already stupid, because projecting gender roles onto other humans is already stupid, right? Because I don't give a shit about your gender. If you want to have a certain job, if you want to present a certain way, if you want to do certain things like hobbies or whatever, I literally couldn't care less about your gender. If you want to do something, then do it, right? But projecting it onto animals is so much worse and so much more silly, and not in a good way. Right? Not silly, that's kind of cute and adorable what you're doing. It's just strange, you know? And also, what is it with, I'm just gonna assume it's a man, honestly, at this point. But a lot of people on the internet, admittingly not just men, just arguing like they know what they're talking about. Don't data centers recycle their water, so like the water usage is actually kind of overstated? You can't recycle water. If you turn a liquid into gas, it is gone. Otherwise, you could just recycle gas in your car. Well, that's not how it works. Combustion of gas is totally a different process than evaporation of water. It would be very simple to cool the water and recycle it. It's called the water circle, pal. Yeah, it's a water circle because the water doesn't really go anywhere. If it just evaporates, it's like eventually gonna come back down. That's how clouds work, essentially. But yeah, if you ignite a gas and then burn it in your car, then you can't recycle it anymore, because that's like a different chemical reaction and it gets turned into different products that you can't reuse and just put the gas back together again. It'd be really cool if that would work, right? But that's not really how this works. But again, is it just because my preschool was like very close to like a water reservoir type thing where they also had like an educational path, and I'm pretty sure every school from our like preschool went there? Is it just because of that, or do people really not understand how the water cycle works? Okay, maybe before you post your recipes, you should spell check them, as you have some misspelled words. Color, correct spelling, color without the U. Flavor, correct spelling, flavor without the U. And there's no S at the end of the abbreviation of minutes, it's just min. assuming a best-selling Australian author would use American spelling and grammar. Like, it's not just that. Like, again, how do you not know that different English-speaking countries use different spelling? Like, honestly, this really, I'm sorry, but it does seem like such an American thing to do. To be like, no, but our spelling is the only right one, and using extra letters like use and color or flavor is just wrong. Just because it's not how it's written in your country doesn't mean it's wrong. You know, and who gives a shit about abbreviations? Like, yeah, the point of abbreviations is to make it as short as possible, so personally I wouldn't add the S either. But to get this pressed about someone doing it seems weird. And also, if you're gonna correct someone on their spelling, make sure you write correctly at least, you know? Because the first one after color correct is written wrong. And also, if you want to correct someone's spelling and grammar, use correct grammar. Like, at least use full sentences or something if you're trying to sound smart. Okay, that period thingy is a scam. Those ladies know how to turn it off if they really want to. That gender would stop a day flow for any guy they're into. Would they now? Like, I get having trust issues, right? Like, a lot of things can give you trust issues. But to just be like, no, all women are lying to us. They're all lying about periods. Our teachers lied to us. They fell for the propaganda of the women is next level. What are you talking about? Seriously, I hope you're a teenager, because it hurts so much more if it's like actual full-fledged adults who are like otherwise fairly like functional adults in society, but then they still don't understand basic biology. That's way more troubling than a teenager not being there yet, you know? Okay, this isn't half of the US population. This is half of each state population, so no half of people in the US do not live in these counties. Isn't half of every state half the country though? No, because every state has a different population. Half of Wyoming's population is 272,000, whereas half of California's population is 9.5 million. If this was a map of half of the US population, many states wouldn't even be represented. What? What do you... I can almost see how you got there, though. That's like the thing. I can almost see how you got there. Because, yeah, obviously, if like a half of Californians is 9.5 million, that's a whole different ballpark. But if you take half of every state and add them up, it will still be half of the entire country. What are you talking about? If you have 5 pieces and eat half of each, you will have eaten half of all your, like, pieces. Like, I think I'm getting way too worked up over this. I'm getting, like, way more mad than I need to about someone not understanding anything, but do people take time to think? Because I'm kind of doubtful that they do right now. He could use all 8 of my holes. Same. Wait, 8? Okay, ears, 2. Nostrils, 2. Mouth, urethra, vagina, anus. That's 8. Women don't have a urethra, dumbass. I mean, as questionable as this top post is, I know people like to exaggerate how attracted they are to some people, so I'm not even coming for that. Like, okay, but what do women pee out of if they don't have a urethra? How do you think that works? And also, again, the confidence is... I know that's the whole point of the subreddit, but it's just... It's so funny. And so frustrating somehow, but like, how do women pee? Can someone please explain it to this guy, because he apparently does not seem to get it. Same-sex attraction is a thing, because to be a homosexual, you must have had sex with the same sex. That's why the issue pertaining to children is an issue as well, because people centered on orientating a child's sexual appetite towards anything or perverse. A person who is a virgin cannot be homo or bisexual because they haven't had sex yet. However, they may very well be same-sex attracted. Apparently you need to have sex with someone to know your sexuality, according to Mr. Sexuality over there. Homosexual literally just means you have same-sex attraction. First of all. Second of all, by that logic, every person would be asexual, not heterosexual, until they had sex. By that logic. I don't make the rules, he makes the rules, everyone's asexual now who hasn't had sex. But apart from that, that's really not how any of this works. Like, literally, your sexual attraction is literally just about who you're attracted to. It's about who you find sexually attractive, right? For kids, it's usually not as much sexual, obviously, they're children, as much as just like a romantic thing maybe, right? Of course, like kids' romance and adult romance looks wildly different. But anyways, I'm getting a headache from these people. Like, how can you say, oh, that's not homosexual, that's just same-sex attraction, as if it isn't the literal same thing? How? How did you get there? That's the worst thing. I think I try to understand where these people are coming from, and then it's giving me a headache because I can't. You know, how did you get here? Really? Anyways, I'm gonna need to end it here because I get way too upset at these people being so confident. Why do I do these videos to myself? That's the worst part. I chose to do this. I chose to make myself mad. Apparently. That's something we do on this channel. Well, anyways, I hope you enjoyed me being mad. You know, or I hope you enjoyed laughing at these people while I get mad at them. I don't know what your thing is, you know, but anyways. I hope you enjoyed our time together. I hope you're hydrated. If not, maybe go drink something now. And I'll be back in a few days with my potentially less frustrating video.